A few years ago, if someone had said that Apple might accidentally help trigger the rise of the Linux desktop, most people would have laughed. Apple has always been known for its tightly controlled ecosystem, its premium hardware, and its closed approach to software. Linux, on the other hand, represents the opposite philosophy: open source, community-driven, flexible, and often chaotic in the best possible way. Yet here we are, in a moment where a surprising chain of events may be pushing the personal computer world toward something many enthusiasts have dreamed about for decades: the true rise of the Linux desktop. And strangely enough, the spark behind this shift may be Apple itself. The story really begins with Apple Silicon, when Apple announced it would abandon Intel processors and design its own ARM-based chips. Many people expected faster laptops and longer battery life, but few predicted how dramatic the impact would be. The first generation of Apple Silicon processors completely shocked the industry. Suddenly, laptops were delivering performance levels previously reserved for desktop machines, while still maintaining incredible efficiency. The combination of high performance and low power consumption created a new benchmark for what modern computing hardware could look like. Overnight, every major chip manufacturer began racing to catch up. But the real surprise came from outside Apple's ecosystem. When Apple introduced the M1 chip, Linux developers saw something fascinating. This was one of the most powerful consumer ARM chips ever created, and it was appearing in millions of machines around the world. Yet Apple had no intention of allowing Linux to run on it. Historically, that might have been the end of the story. Apple hardware has rarely been friendly toward alternative operating systems. However, the open source community has a long tradition of turning impossible challenges into technical achievements. Enter Asahi Linux. Asahi Linux began as an ambitious project with a simple but extremely difficult goal: bring full Linux support to Apple Silicon Macs. The challenge wasn't just big, it was monumental. Apple Silicon is built with a completely custom architecture. Many of the internal components had no public documentation. The GPU, the power management systems, the display engine, and countless other pieces of hardware were completely undocumented. Developers had to reverse engineer everything. Normally, projects like this take years before reaching a usable stage, and many never reach completion at all. But the Asahi Linux team moved at a speed that surprised even experienced kernel developers. Step by step, they began unlocking Apple's hardware. First came basic boot support, allowing Linux to start on Apple Silicon systems. Then came drivers for storage, networking, and USB. Slowly but steadily, the pieces of the puzzle started coming together. One of the most impressive milestones was GPU acceleration. Apple's GPU architecture is unlike anything else on the market. It doesn't follow the standard patterns used by AMD, NVIDIA, or Intel. Reverse engineering it required deep analysis and countless experiments. But eventually, the Asahi developers managed to build an open-source GPU driver capable of running real desktop environments with hardware acceleration. That moment changed everything! Suddenly, Linux on Apple Silicon wasn't just a technical demonstration anymore. It was becoming a real, usable desktop platform. And that's where the story becomes even more interesting. Because while Apple never intended for Linux to run on its hardware, the company unintentionally created the perfect environment for it. Apple Silicon machines have several characteristics that Linux users have been dreaming about for years. First, the performance is extraordinary. Even entry-level Apple Silicon laptops deliver performance comparable to high-end PCs. For Linux users who often rely on efficient workflows, development tools, and virtualization, this kind of performance can be transformative. Second, the power efficiency is unmatched. Traditional x86 laptops often struggle to balance performance and battery life. Apple Silicon changed that equation completely. It's now possible to have a machine that runs quietly, stays cool, and lasts all day on a single charge. For developers, system administrators, and power users who rely on Linux for daily work, this is incredibly appealing. Third, the hardware quality is exceptional. Apple has spent years perfecting laptop design, displays, trackpads, and keyboards. When Linux runs on Apple hardware, users suddenly gain access to some of the best-built laptops ever made. In other words, Apple accidentally created one of the most attractive Linux hardware platforms ever released. But the ripple effects go far beyond just running Linux on Macs. The existence of Apple Silicon has forced the entire industry to rethink its strategy. ARM-based computing is no longer a niche experiment. It is rapidly becoming the future of personal computing. For decades, the PC industry relied on the x86 architecture dominated by Intel and AMD. This architecture powered everything from office desktops to gaming rigs. Linux distributions evolved alongside it, optimizing for x86 performance and compatibility. But Apple's success with ARM has started a new wave of innovation. Companies like Qualcomm, NVIDIA, and others are now developing powerful ARM chips for laptops and desktops. Even Microsoft is investing heavily in ARM support for Windows. And because Linux has supported ARM architectures for many years through servers and embedded systems, the open source world is uniquely positioned to take advantage of this shift. This is where the phrase "Year of the Linux Desktop" begins to reappear in conversations. For decades, Linux enthusiasts joked about the mythical year of the Linux desktop. Every time a new distribution released or a new feature appeared, someone would claim that this was finally the year Linux would replace Windows. But that moment never truly arrived. Linux remained powerful but niche, beloved by developers and enthusiasts, yet largely invisible to mainstream consumers. What makes the current moment different is that the underlying hardware landscape is changing dramatically. Apple Silicon has demonstrated that ARM can outperform traditional desktop architectures while using far less power. As more companies enter this space, Linux distributions are already prepared to support them. And the open source model gives Linux an enormous advantage in this new environment. Hardware vendors can collaborate directly with the Linux kernel community. Drivers can be developed in the open. Optimizations can be shared across the ecosystem. Instead of waiting for one corporation to control the platform, the entire community can contribute. Asahi Linux itself is a perfect example of this philosophy in action. The project isn't just about running Linux on Macs. It's about understanding the architecture deeply enough to create fully open drivers and documentation. The work being done today could influence future ARM hardware designs, benefiting the entire Linux ecosystem. Another fascinating aspect of this development is how it affects developers. Many programmers already rely on macOS for development work because of its Unix foundation. Tools like Homebrew, the terminal environment, and compatibility with Linux servers make macOS a comfortable platform. But now, with Asahi Linux, developers can run a fully native Linux environment directly on Apple Silicon hardware without virtualization. This opens new possibilities for software development, especially in fields like containerization, cloud infrastructure, and cross-platform applications. Developers who once depended on expensive workstations can now use efficient laptops with incredible performance. Meanwhile, Linux distributions are becoming more polished every year. Modern desktop environments such as GNOME and KDE have evolved into sophisticated platforms capable of competing with traditional operating systems. Wayland is replacing the aging X11 display system. Gaming support through Proton and Vulkan has improved dramatically. Hardware compatibility continues to expand. In many ways, the Linux desktop of today is completely different from the Linux desktop of 10 years ago. And when you combine that maturity with powerful ARM hardware like Apple Silicon, something interesting happens. The traditional barriers that once held Linux back begin to disappear. Performance is no longer a concern. Hardware efficiency is exceptional. Software ecosystems are expanding, and the open source community continues to innovate at a remarkable pace. Of course, challenges still remain. Apple's hardware remains tightly integrated with its own operating system, and not every feature is available under Linux yet. Power management, advanced GPU features, and certain peripherals are still evolving in the Asahi Linux project. Reverse engineering complex hardware takes time, but progress has been astonishingly fast. Features that once seemed years away are arriving in months. Each new kernel release brings better support and improved stability. And perhaps the most interesting outcome is the cultural shift happening within the tech community. For years, Apple and Linux were seen as completely separate worlds. Apple represented polished commercial products, while Linux represented open experimentation. Today, those worlds are intersecting in unexpected ways. Apple's pursuit of performance and efficiency created hardware that open-source developers couldn't ignore. The Asahi Linux project demonstrated that even the most closed systems can eventually be understood through persistence and collaboration. And the broader industry has begun moving toward architectures that Linux already supports extremely well. So did Apple, accidentally, start the year of the Linux desktop. The answer isn't simple, but the influence is undeniable. Apple didn't design Apple Silicon to support Linux. The company built it to strengthen its own ecosystem. Yet the existence of this powerful ARM platform has inspired developers, accelerated innovation, and pushed the entire industry in a new direction. Whether Linux finally becomes a mainstream desktop operating system remains to be seen. Market forces, software ecosystems, and user habits all play enormous roles. But what is clear is that the foundation for change is stronger than ever before. Apple Silicon proved that personal computing could evolve beyond the limitations of traditional architectures. Asahi Linux proved that open source developers could adapt to even the most complex hardware environments. And the growing ARM ecosystem suggests that the next generation of PCs may look very different from the machines we use today. In the end, the most ironic part of the story may be this. One of the most important catalysts for the future of the Linux desktop might come from a company that never intended to support it at all.